Standard 6 assessments. And the video that I used was, or the lesson that I used was using exponential functions in common uses. And what it was, the lesson was actually to give the students an opportunity to see exponential functions used, on an everyday basis. So we took a look at what happens with interest rates. So that was our main focus. So first of all we looked at interest rates, what happened with interest rates in a bank. Then we looked at like two common uses of exponential functions when buying a car and buying a home. So what we did was we tried to get them to find a way to, or use a formula to calculate their monthly payments and see how much more interest that you're paying for your car or your home than your original principal or the original loan that you loan amount that you got. So what we did, so in terms of assessments, at the beginning we did some mental math. In our warm-up we did some mental math, or just trying to get them to use their prior knowledge to do a few problems to see how exponents work, well, to continue with them how exponents work. And then the second problem that we had on our warm-up was an introduction to what we were going to do for that day. So it was still exponential function, but it was a little bit more complex. So they were able to struggle a little bit with it, but it showed that scaffolding from the lower tier to a higher tier of work. The other thing, within the lesson itself, I also put in a quiz, a short quiz for them, so that after they did the notes and we did some examples of what it is that the quiz came back and just gave them a refresher, or they were able to regurgitate what they got from the notes and the examples that we taught.
So just in terms of what I saw, I did like the real life connections. We started with the investing in the banking. It was interesting that the kids thought they were getting 10% on a savings account. And then you went into the interest and purchasing a car and a house, so that was good. During the beginning, you gave the kids wait time, so that was good to kind of figure out, what they were doing without giving them the answer. And just the common uses for exponential growth and decay. I also like that you brought in the technology, showing the video on compound and simple interest, and gave them an opportunity to practice for the quiz. You also gave them, I couldn't really see the paper in the video, but the lesson highlight paper, so I like that you told them to refer back to that in their notes. In terms of the standards, you did give them a formative and summative assessment. The objective was aligned with the assessment, and I saw both you and your co-teacher giving feedback in the video, and I thought it was very effective. So what did you think worked and what didn't work?
Okay, well, yeah, I believe that instituting where I put in the quiz, I think that worked, and it's something I think I'll implement a little bit more, because what it did was it broke up some of the monotony of me just talking to them and dialogue, but it gave them a chance to not only to actually focus on and try to regurgitate what it is that they were learning, so that they were able to so they could use it later on. The videos, applying more videos to my lessons is something that I think that I'm in favor of too. But the only thing is that my videos need to be, some of the videos need to be shorter, because what I've recognized is that the students, if it's over 2 minutes, they check out. So I have to, do like they do with Snapchat and Vines, keep it at like 30 seconds.
Right.
So that they'll be engaged. At least something, flashes up to them with for 30 seconds. What didn't work? Because I believe that I think they got a lot out of the lesson. Let me see what didn't work.
They were engaged.
They were engaged. They were, and the thing about it is that the dialogue that we had during the lesson was I was impressed with some of their questions. I was also impressed with some of even some of our lower students were really excited, to learn about some of these things because, like I said at the beginning, is, two things that you probably going to do in your lifetime is
Right.
buy a car and buy a house. Some, we did have questions about, which is better to do if it's to rent or to buy. So it might have taken us a little way, a little off course of what it is that we are trying to get the lesson in terms of the math, but the dialogue and actually getting them to understand what some life choices that they have to make was pretty exciting.
So, are there any other supports that you feel you need around assessment?
Around assessment. Well, the only thing is like that I'm working on right now is to find proper places to put them.
Okay.
So it's a matter of, okay, well, don't just spring up an assessment on them, but make it so that it's the transition is just fluent or seamless, so that they're not actually feeling like, okay, well, I'm actually doing a test, but I'm actually just giving back what I just learned.
So you probably could, instead of calling it a quiz, call it an exit ticket. That's probably a little less intimidating.
Yeah, but the thing with the exit ticket is like, because I do have an exit ticket that they have to do it. It's more of a reflection that they have to do it every day, and I like that because they actually have to settle down and at the end of the class and actually think about what it is. Okay, well, how can I apply it? What does this really mean to me? Because I've gotten the question too many times that when how am I going to use this? So
Right.
So that's one of the things. But as an exit ticket, I could definitely use switch it up sometimes, and because not everybody wants to write a reflection every time. So
It's true.
yeah.